This is a very unpopular opinion. And as a girl dad, this is something I have drilled into my daughter's heads dealing with this Ashlee Janae situation. See, women, specifically our women, because she was a divester, have a habit of thinking that men are supposed to accept their natural quirks and deal with them, while at the same time not accepting and at least respecting. You don't even have to accept a man's natural quirk. A man's natural quirk towards the potential for violence is something that every woman should at least respect. What am I saying? What I'm saying is that you cannot go around talking to men crazy and acting like you can buck them on an argument level. And I'm not saying that you have to accept that. I'm saying you have to at least respect the power. This is a thing about nature. If you look out into the world, bears, lions, tigers, every other animal accepts the natural order of things. Even in the hyena, which is backwards, where the female is larger, the males submit. You cannot talk to a man like you have the potential for him to, like you have the potential of making him do anything, or the potential of checking him any kind of way. You have to learn that if the shit gets to that level, you should just leave. Quietly, humbly, using some humility, be like, oh, okay, all right. So obviously you don't want me here, so I'm gonna take me and I'm gonna exit the situation. But when you try to buck and argue back, which is what I am sure happened here, because it happens so much in the black community. But in the black community, usually our men have been beat down so much to the fact of where our women can disrespect the men in our community like that. In other communities, they don't accept that. That's why when y'all do divest, there is a higher percentage of y'all that end up deleted or worse. Well, I don't know if it gets much worse than that, but it can get worse. You can be tortured and they can be eating you and doing all that other crap, crazy crap. But they don't deal with that out of their women. So when y'all go that level with them, they're like, who does she think she is? And that, we ain't got to worry about you no more. That's the type of stuff that happens. You have to be cognizant of your position in the pecking order on the planet. Men have to do this every day with each other. Now, I know, ladies, y'all feel like, oh, well, we're smart and we should be able to outthink nature. But the problem is, in tense situations, fight or flight situations, the natural reactions tend to come out. So if you're pushing those buttons with a man, you can put yourself in a potential or a potentially dangerous situation, and it's not necessary. That's probably what happened in this situation. That man being the hell in America, he's the top man. He's the man that all the women respect. Y'all been getting off with talking to black men like that for so long. Now, the most Tyrone usually do. Now, sometimes you can't get Tyrone to flip out and go to them levels, but usually y'all got some buttons that y'all push on those levels that be to the next level too. Then when they do trip out and do the same type of thing, but usually Tyrone might slap you upside your head, and then you just call the police on him. She didn't get to call the police on this man. Why? Because she messed around. She probably said some stuff that he just was like, I know this bitch didn't. And the man had so much money and so much respect from other people and probably other women that he's dated that it was a shock to him. And he reacted in a very shocking manner. I don't wish this on nobody. I have never put my hands on a woman, and I don't believe that a man should ever put his hands on a woman. But you have to understand that the potential for aggression is a man's quirk. See, I know this. So I know when I see a woman that's pushing those buttons like that, I know to get the hell on out the way and just, hell, I'm going to remove myself. And I've made myself valuable enough to where I know that I'm hurting her more by leaving her the freak alone to deal with her situations by herself or with the next person that ain't going to add up. I know that that's hurting her more. So I'll just walk away. But there's guys that don't think those many steps ahead. And this is what we end up with. Rest in heaven, baby girl. Hopefully you make it there. I'm sure you should make it there. Scripturally, you know, when somebody does delete someone, the victim usually is or should have some extra entry points at the gates. So hopefully she makes it. Hopefully, if this man did do this, he rots in jail for the rest of his life, because that's what he deserves. Ladies, check your words. A little bit of humility will go a long way. You can hurt a man more. If you're that valuable of a woman, you being quiet and removing yourself from the situation will hurt a man far more than you feeling like you got your get back and got even with him. It just is what it is. It's the laws of nature. Y'all way of checking us is emotionally sensitive through nurturing. It ain't through aggression. Aggression only begets aggression. And if we get aggressive, which one of us can leave the room alive? 9 times out of 10. Or maybe even more than that.